Hello, here we are back again. Now we're ready to cast off. So, for our particular pattern, for a beverage cozy, you need to have your knitted piece to be around 3 inches in length. So we take a measuring tape and we measure. 3 inches, there we go. Now, if your hand is wider, because you got to think about the width of your hand to hold on to the cup. So if your hand is a wider hand, use your hand as measurement and to see if it's the right length for you. You're also going to need scissors to cast off as well. So for casting off, same as with our knitting, we line all of our stitches up and I bring it up as close to the end of the needle as I can so I'm ready. Now, in order to do this, you're going to need to knit 2 stitches on to your gaining needle at a time. That's what we call the empty needle. This is your casting needle. This is your gaining. So we knit 2 stitches on. 1, 2. 1, 2. When we have those 2 knit on, I'm going to use my casting needle to hook into the bottom stitch here. Same as when you finger knit, actually. Think that you pull one loop up over the other. This is what we're going to do with this as well. Except instead of using our fingers, we're using our needles. So I hook into the bottom one. Using my pointer finger, my index finger, I'm going to push that needle down. Now I'm going to show you very closely. I take that and then pull it off. Those 2 stitches have now become 1. So we always need 2 stitches on this needle. So I need to knit a new one on, just like a regular knit stitch. Then to cast that off, I hook my casting needle into the bottom stitch there. Push it down with the pointer finger. Going behind, push it off. Those 2 have become 1 again. Knit a new stitch on. Hook into the bottom. Put my pointer finger. When you take that loop, what you're doing is you're bringing it in behind the other. Push that and then pull it off. I always like to show this one nice and slow a few times. Really up close. Oh, missed it. There. Like that. Pull it off. What you're starting to see are these stitches. They're cast off, they're bound off. They're not going to come apart. So I'm going to keep going now. What you might be wondering, what you're hearing is the knitting needles hitting off of my table. I have myself propped up here with my phone, a Wii remote, and a box. You do what you have to do. I started knitting, didn't I? Look at that. I wasn't paying attention. I was talking to you. See? Don't mind this. Work them back. Getting all excited. All excited just to be talking to you, see? Even if I can't see you. There we go. Okay, alright. Back to casting off. There we go. Now I'm back on track. Knit your 2 stitches on. Hook underneath. Pull it off. That stitch on. Pull off. There we go. Casting off does take a little bit. Gotta make sure that you don't do it too tight. So if you do it too tight, then you're not going to have that same flexibility and that same stretch like you do in the rest of the piece. And then it'll be difficult to pull it up over your cup. So make sure that you don't do your casting off too tightly. So I'm going to keep showing you now, of course, to the end of the row. So you can see how it looks. So nothing's unexpected. Get my stitch on, underneath, off.
Back.
Isaac's here again.
Oh.
Oh, now we gotta stay quiet. He's being very patient. Don't touch my knitting needle, please. Okay, almost to the end. So the last video for completing this pattern is going to be finishing. So you have casting on, knitting, casting off, and finishing. For finishing, you're going to need your tapestry needle, or what we call a darning needle, or other yarn needle. You hear my clock? Stop stitching my ball of wool, please, Isaac. Thank you. Finish my row. Got a few left. Because there's a pivotal step that you need for the last one. So I'll show you right to the end of the row.
Do it over there, Mommy.
Oh, I can't do it over there, sweetie. I have to do it here so that my students can see it. Doing teaching videos with a 4-year-old around. Okay. A few left. So you do this all the way down. So you have 2 stitches left.
I didn't do it.
Okay, so I have 2 left. Stitch this last one on. This needle is now empty. Hook it into the bottom. Still pull that one off. I have 1 left. That's all I have left now. Just 1 stitch. Everything else is off and done. Completed. So what I need to do is now cut this free from my ball of wool.
You like me. It wasn't me, Mommy.
Okay. A little cut.
Cut? That's dangerous.
What I do is I take it off of this needle. And see, I have this loop. I'm going to take this thread of yarn And I'm going to feed it through that loop. Pull it through, and I pull it tight. This is now completely cast off. Great job.